Presidency says the Aso Rock Villa is in a partial lockdown following order to postpone Federal Executive Council meeting indefinitely, plus news on the status of the president and his vice's health. And the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar is clamoring for palliatives for Nigerians in the midst of the battle to curb the spread of the deadly coronavirus disease. The former PDP presidential candidate says he will donate 50 million naira to the cause, was asking the federal government to give each household 10,000 naira. Welcome to the program, everyone. This is the Wednesday edition of Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimbale. Within this 1 hour or so, we shall be bringing you up to speed with some of the decision of government and also the policies, and we discuss issues of governance across the country. Stay with us, everyone, and let's get talking. We begin with a clamor for palliatives for Nigerians as ordered to stay at home, and the sort of shutdown we're seeing in the different aspects of our lives is taking its toll. Former Vice President and presidential candidate of the PDP, Mr. Atiku Abubakar, is asking the federal government and state governments to pay each household 10,000 naira palliatives as most Nigerians survive on a subsistence basis. He said in a statement, and I quote, he says, "We must accept the fact that much of the Nigerian public have a subsistence existence. A large percentage of our people do not have the financial capacity to withstand long periods of self-isolation and even lockdown. It is therefore incumbent on the federal government and state governments to provide palliatives to the Nigerian people to enable them survive even as they abide by these necessary measures put in place for their own safety. At an approximate 30 million households or thereabouts, government should devise modalities to distribute 10,000 naira as supplement for food stuff to each household, among other palliative measures, with no one left behind." That is going to form basis for a conversation tonight. And of course, some of the news coming from the seat of power, the vice president and his principal, the president, tested negative to coronavirus. But what about the chief of staff? We still do not hear anything about him, with a story of him testing positive. Stay with us, everyone. We'll take a look at some political stories we have for you on our political roundup.
In a bid to contain the spread of COVID-19, the Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi has ordered the immediate closure of all educational institutions in the state, with all public and civil servants to work from home, excluding health workers, water corporation staff, waste management operatives, staff of the State Emergency Management Agency, and other essential workers. Parts of the measures include suspension of all cultural and social gatherings to include marriage ceremonies, masquerade festivals, drinking bars, nightclubs, and every sporting and recreational activities. Osun State Governor Gboyega Oyetola is asking the residents of the state not to panic in spite of the confirmation of a coronavirus case in the state. Governor Gboyega told journalists in Osogbo, the state capital, that the state has taken proactive measures even before the latest development to curtail the spread of the virus. The Rivers State government has shut down the Port Harcourt International Airport, all land and sea borders, and restricted vehicular movement in and out of the state. The state governor, Nyesom Wike, gave the directive today, following what he describes as the state's narrow escape from being infected. In Kwara State, the government has announced some measures which include closing down the motor parks and banning commercial vehicles from moving in and out of the state. Briefing journalists, the deputy governor, who is also the chairman of the COVID-19 Technical Committee, Kayode Alabi, says eateries should only sell for those taking away the foods and not allow them eat in. Other measures include ban on social gatherings and religious activities and urge the people to show understanding with the government. Those who flout the directive, he added, will, however, be dealt with by the government. The Bayelsa State Governor, Doye Diri, has debunked rumors being peddled on social media that he might have contacted the coronavirus during his visit to the presidential villa on March the 17th, 2020. During the National Executive Council meeting, either from his Bauchi State counterpart, Bala Mohammed, or the Chief of Staff to the President, Abba Kyari, who have both tested positive for COVID-19.